watched the previous video and you decided to put in me getting ready to talk.
Oh yeah,
before.
sometimes I like to keep in the little thing before.
So you're probably gonna put.
Maybe
this
I'll
in.
do this. Maybe this will be in.
Probably is. All right, let's go. Post SummerSlam, we have to be a hype.
You're not gonna do your thing?
One sec.
Okay.
Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, and we are here.
Post SummerSlam.
Post SummerSlam.
Post PPV.
We're mostly this episode is going to be focused on SummerSlam
and the
Monday Night Raw,
the aftermath.
which W Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all thought we were done. Y'all thought we were just going to come back and then not post anything else. No, we're back.
We are back.
And let's go and talk about SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Great show
from start to finish.
You know,
a lot of people complained a bit that it was a little too predictable.
You know, but it really it's like a show that really defines a new part of this era, you know.
Yeah.
It's about time we had some change.
We got some answers to some questions that we've been having for a little while.
Yeah.
Between certain wrestlers, alliances, and you know who they align with.
The answers to the matches were somewhat predictable, but it was still an entertaining show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No match disappointed.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with predictability because it's the outcome that you want.
It's the best outcome.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, we'll say we did predict some matches wrong in our predictions. There were a couple.
The Logan Paul and LA Knight.
I got wrong. You got right.
And I was wrong about CM Punk winning his match.
Yes.
So we tied.
As you can tell, I am wearing a CM Punk shirt, but you all know I'm a huge Drew McIntyre fan. I just don't have a Drew McIntyre shirt.
You know?
People might say I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, but I just don't have a Drew McIntyre shirt.
Sometimes you just gotta show love to both the individuals.
That put their bodies on the line.
Yes.
For our entertainment.
Like, CM Punk is probably still looking for him so he can get that bracelet.
Get that bracelet back.
Yeah. Speaking of bracelets, you have a Rocky bracelet.
I do. I went to Philadelphia. I think I mentioned it last time.
Yeah.
I got a Rocky bracelet. Rocky,
I just now noticed
one of my favorite movies of all time.
W movie.
Sami
Zayn is the Rocky Balboa. Okay, let's go and talk about is Braun Breaker the Clubber Lang?
Well, that's what I saw. Somebody says he's the Mr. T.
Is he the Mr. T of this story? If so, this timeline's completely wrong because Ivan Drago's after Mr. T.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jey Uso was saying, yeah, you're gonna get this shot back. You're gonna win.
And because if you remember in Rocky 3, Rocky lost at one point during the movie to Mr. T.
And Mr. T
and they get a rematch.
Yeah.
And Rocky wins that one.
But his trainer is not going to be Apollo Creed, a.k.a. Chad Gable. Mm-hmm. Because that was for the wrong...
So they're kind of picking and choosing certain aspects of the Rocky movie.
They're definitely trying to not to get copyrighted for this.
Is that what it is?
But, first of all, absolutely demolished. Braun Breaker. Absolutely killed Sammy.
New Intercontinental Champion. Well deserved. This guy's a star. Mm-hmm. This guy is a star. And he's in his 20s. He's not that old.
Yeah, you said that he was going to be the world champion in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think in the next couple of years he'll be world champion.
After that match, I agree.
Yeah.
Because we got to see that this dude beat someone in like a minute.
Yeah, how do you stop a guy that moves that fast?
And Sami Zayn also beat Gunther, who is the world champion.
Who is now the world champion.
So, technically, Braun Breaker should beat Gunther in a quicker amount of time.
That's what they say.
If we're going off statistics...
According off of science, this guy beat this guy, this guy beat this guy.
We were in the lab for this one.
Yeah, we did the work. We did the work.
Braun Breaker.
Just a monster.
Absolutely insane.
Absolute monster. And I don't see anybody taking the title off of him for a hot minute.
Yep, I feel like we're still going to see this rivalry between the two.
A little bit more. We'll get at least one more match. And I think Sammy will at some point go against Gunther for the world title.
At some point. Speaking of Gunther, let's go ahead into that match. Gunther beat Damian Priest.
Which we predicted, and I think a lot of people predicted.
Yeah.
Gunther is easily, at first glance, a main event star. And he proved it, and finally he got to that point of being a main event star.
Yeah, so before the match, Damian Priest was being like a brother to Finn Balor. He said, I'm sorry for getting mad at you earlier, which we'll talk about why you got mad. But anyways, Finn Balor's like, it's all cool, man. We were at Judgment Day. We got...
Priest is just like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get the job
It's
done.
almost as if WWE tried to make it to where we think that, okay, maybe he's not going to betray him. Mm-hmm. But I think
everybody saw it.
I feel like it made it even more obvious after they did that. You know, Finn Balor came out to support Damian Priest. Damian Priest gets Gunther for the pin.
And here's the thing about that pin. If you go back and watch it, I thought it was kind of awkward.
Yeah, because he was rolling him towards the rope. He hits
the South of Heaven, and then
pushes
him towards the rope. And it's like the way Gunther was laying. It's like you should. Naturally, you'd want to roll him towards you.
And the way he was like doing the pin as well, like he was like grabbing like the closest leg to him.
So it was clear. It was clear he was making sure Gunther was close enough to the ropes.
He was like pushing him towards the ropes, and then he grabbed the nearest leg as if he just like reached out for him.
Yeah.
So it was really awkward.
It's not like Priest couldn't reach it. Damian Priest is a very tall guy. He can just reach right over and grab the leg.
I wonder if wrestling's saying that this was a rookie mistake.
Whoa!
But I feel like you should know to get that foot.
If you're a world champion, you should know.
Yeah.
If you're a world champion.
That is a very Mr. Money in the Bank move right there.
Anyways.
Or should I say Senior Money in the Bank?
Finn Balor puts the foot on the rope.
Yeah.
And at first, Priest doesn't see it.
And then he saw the video replay.
And he was not happy. And you just see that angry face of Finn Balor.
I also want to point out that he got the upper hand again, and he was going to beat Gunther, but he could not put the Finn Balor to the side and win the match first.
He was too distracted.
Yeah. He had the chance to win again. Yeah. But Finn Balor full on distracted him. He could not keep his eyes off of Finn.
Gunther picked up the W by, was it technical submission?
It was submission, from the...
He didn't tap out. He did not tap out.
He didn't.
He got knocked out. But either way, Gunther is the new world champion. And Gunther said that with the help from Finn Balor, he still doesn't feel like that title win was tainted in any way. Mm-hmm. He still feels like it was clean and deserved.
Which, bullcrap. He was going to lose.
You going to say the ring general was going to lose? You think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Another South of Heaven choke slam, and he wouldn't even...
I don't see anybody taking the title off Gunther for a very long time.
Oh, definitely.
NXT UK champion, he was... I don't know what the number is, but forever he was champion.
I wonder if this is going to be like a reign that goes on for at least a year.
Intercontinental champion, he was for like a year and a half.
666 days. Yeah. They should have thought about
just
that.
One more day.
One more day, man.
And then now he's world heavyweight champion.
Yeah. So
who's going to stop him? I mean, we'll get to what happened on Raw.
We will, yeah.
His next contender.
So, since we're staying on topic with the Judgment Day, let's go ahead and talk about Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
Yeah, the match that opened the night.
First of all, Rhea Ripley was absolutely demolishing Liv
Morgan. She looked unstoppable, but she kept getting in her own way. She could have so many times pinned Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get out of her own way.
There was a point where she like hit the riptide, but she just didn't win.
Yeah, it's like pin her. You'd win. You'd be champion again.
So she grabs a chair and
she's ready to whack.
She's about to hit her
to lose everything.
First of all, Dominic was doing this more on Rhea's side. Mm-hmm. Whenever he grabbed the chair from her and stopped her, he was like, "You can't win this way."
And that's what I was saying at the TV. I was like, "Rhea, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Rhea, you're gonna lose the title. You're gonna lose the match. Disqualification."
Everyone was thinking that.
Yeah.
And so Rhea's like, "You're right."
Dominic. It was the first time I ever seen Dominic, I think, do something smart. Mm-hmm. Was take the chair out of Rhea's hands.
But then Dominic grabs that same chair, throws it into the ring, distracts the referee. And Liv Morgan does Oblivion onto the chair and wins the match.
1, 2, 3.
First, she also did the Oblivion after the Dominic grabbed the chair. Mm-hmm. And she didn't win by that because Rhea's the GOAT.
Because Rhea's the GOAT.
Rhea is still way better than all the women on the roster.
She's 99 overall, is what I'd say. Still.
I say 100.
100. Let's go one more.
Put her at 100. She is up there with power like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have had a reign like Roman Reigns if the injury didn't happen, you know? But, Dominic betrayed Rhea Ripley, and he's now Daddy Dominic.
At first, Rhea doesn't realize really what happened.
Yeah.
And the crowd isn't 100% sure if Dominic did it on purpose, because all he did was just slide it in the middle of the ring. But then we see Dominic kind of have that smile on his face. He picks up Liv Morgan from the ground, and they start making out at SummerSlam. The kiss heard around the world.
Rhea Ripley was distraught.
Irate, distraught, all the words.
Yeah. I never seen so much sadness on Rhea Ripley's face.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd ever seen Rhea Ripley that upset, in that emotional state before.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, that's all the Judgment Day business we have.
That kind of carried over to that Damian Priest and Gunther match with Finn Balor. It's looking like we have a new Judgment Day.
We do.
It's
and
very
we see it on Raw.
On Raw.
We see it on Raw.
Very much on Raw.
Let's keep going.
Let's do LA Knight, Logan Paul. Maybe one of the best just pure back and forth in-ring
action match
of the night. Logan Paul doing that moonsault off that top rope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That springboard moonsault. Oh, my.
That was absolutely sick. LA Knight.
I 100% thought Logan Paul was winning the match. I really thought he was going to win.
LA Knight brought out his Stone Cold Steve Austin in him and took out the celebrities. I can't remember who they were on the side.
You had MGK.
MGK, that's who
LA
it was.
LA Knight kind of came over and beat up everybody.
Yeah.
MGK was there. I think he was the one that handed Logan Paul the brass knuckles.
And LA Knight grabs him. Logan jabs him in the face.
Yeah, jabs him. Yeah.
He was gonna go for the
springboard clothesline.
Yeah, but he didn't hit him hard enough with the brass knuckles. And LA Knight reverses it, hits the BFT, wins the match. Crowd was hype.
And because not only were they excited to see a new champion, which was the only title change of the night, I think, United States or no, women's championship.
We also had the women's championship.
So it was one
and
of
Gunther.
Gunther. Okay, I guess and Braun Breaker. Why do I think there's only one title change?
I feel like.
Anyways, it was
this was the most unexpected.
Yeah, and I think people were most happy about because they felt like he really deserved it.
Yeah,
all the hard work finally paying off.
It's about time that he gets a title.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to look good with that United States. I think it was a good first title on the main roster to finally get.
Now, so we're recording this on the Friday, so SmackDown hasn't happened for us yet.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's the next challenger? Do you think it's Logan Paul's going to come back for some more, or are we going to get someone else?
I think it'd be cool to see one more match with Logan Paul. Get a rematch. I think we'll see something there.
Maybe for Bash in Berlin, just because he's a celebrity.
Yeah, and you definitely see with these overseas events, they try and get some big name matches to go in there.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go and talk about Sami Zayn and... Oh, wait, no, we talked about that one first. Yeah.
So what will be...
Let's talk about...
Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. Let's talk about...
I was going to save it for last.
Yeah, but the main event I want to save because of the certain return.
Okay.
I want to hit that last.
Gotcha.
That's maybe one of the biggest things.
I feel like everyone here listening knows about this return.
Yeah, but we're going to act like they don't know.
Okay, y'all don't know this.
Punk and McIntyre, though.
Yeah.
Was the match I was most looking forward to of the night. I think it delivered on
story-wise.
The story-wise that it needed to deliver on. Punk looked good.
There wasn't as much action as the other matches, though.
It was a lot of Seth Rollins kind of being Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
Turning his head and letting them kind of do whatever they wanted to each other a little bit.
Yeah, he let the steel chair come out.
It was cool. I had never really seen this before. When Drew McIntyre had Punk under the ring and kind of flipped him up, I was like, that looked like a really hurt.
That looks sick. Yeah.
Eventually, McIntyre brings out the bracelet. Punk kind of gets it off of him. And eventually Seth Rollins puts on the bracelet. And he's saying he's just trying to get it out of the way.
At that point...
Which I'm thinking, why wouldn't you just kind of throw it to the side? Then as a referee, Why would you put the bracelet on?
You know exactly why he put it on.
Was he
To
trying
get
to-
under his nerves. And it worked.
It worked.
Because CM Punk hits the GTS on Seth Rollins, and
Then
that leads to Drew McIntyre.
Low blow. Kicks him below the belt, and then hits that Claymore.
Which I feel like Seth Rollins wouldn't even have called anyways if he saw the low
I don't
blow.
think it really mattered.
And then
Especially after getting GTS.
Claymore.
I don't care.
And then Seth Rollins, just want to say, he still got up after that GTS.
Yeah, he took it like a champ.
Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Drew McIntyre wins and he takes that bracelet back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I know I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt, but I'm so happy that Drew McIntyre won because I think he deserved it, and he deserves to get on a roll. I think he should be almost next in line for a world title match.
You know, I am ready to see Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
It's
looking like we're going to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre again, though, after Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, there's a lot that transpired in that storyline on Monday.
But, let's talk about Nia Jax.
Nia Jax and Bayley. I forgot
Bayley.
about that one. Yes.
First of all, new champion.
New champion, Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Dominant. I don't remember if I called this one or not. I think we may have both got it wrong.
We both got it wrong. We both said Bayley. You were close to saying Nia Jax.
Yeah, because I thought maybe they'd get a rematch and then Nia Jax would win.
Yeah. So the main reason that Bayley loses is because Tiffany Stratton was going to cash in mid-match.
Yeah. And Bayley had kicked out of a Nia Jax's finishing. I don't remember what it's called, which just squashes them. But she kicked out of that, which not many people have ever done.
Yeah. It was very surprising.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton came out. Looked like she was going to cash in.
Mid-match.
But in turn,
Bayley stops her.
Yeah, she ends up just helping Nia Jax win.
And Nia Jax wins from that. Nia Jax wasn't phased that she tried to do it mid-match.
Yeah.
So I think that was more planned.
You got the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, and Princess of the Ring, Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
I see a WrestleMania match here.
With those two?
For the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say Tiffany Stratton is the fan favorite.
Yeah.
It depends really, like, how is she going to use her Money in the Bank contract?
I mean, I think she'll cash in before WrestleMania.
Do you think that would be, like, the betrayal that causes this rivalry to come?
Yeah. I could see. Here's what I could see. I still believe this. I think Tiffany Stratton will cash in before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then I think Nia Jax could go on and win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And then that sets up Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax for the championship at WrestleMania.
Could have said it better. But, we'll go ahead and go with the and do you want to go? Wait, is that the last one?
That's the last match.
Yeah.
I think
Undisputed Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes and Sol Sikoa
Bloodline
and
rules.
Bloodline Rules. We didn't know that until
the SmackDown before.
Yeah.
We kind of expected a lot of things that happened with Bloodline getting involved.
This really seemed like another WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Except that it was more
back and forth. I mean,
it was more predictable.
I predicted it a little bit more. Everybody saw the Bloodline coming out, and then everybody, I think, predicted Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to come out and help.
Yeah.
Especially after that cool backstage segment with Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes.
He's like, you have some friends.
You have some friends. I was like, well, who else could that be? But he also said like something like people who you may not expect.
I feel like, no offense, but Cody Rhodes is still pushing like the family thing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like everyone's just sick of it now.
It's getting repetitive because we're trying to kill time till Rock.
Yeah.
And I think...
And to be honest with you, I keep saying this. I don't think it should be a title match between the two. No. Because...
Look at this guy. That's a hot take because a lot of people want the title on the line and feel like the match needs it.
We all know The Rock's going to lose.
What if he doesn't?
There's no shot. Because who will beat The Rock? Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns. Get the title again, but I don't think they'd put it on him again.
I feel like after Roman Reigns lost it to Cody, I feel like it's going to be a while until Roman gets another title. I feel like the next title he would get would be the World Heavyweight Championship, not the Undisputed.
Maybe. But focusing on the match, the Bloodline gets involved. First it was Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And Kevin Owens, Randy Orton come out and take care of them. Then it's Jacob Fatu who starts tearing up Cody Rhodes.
Just want to point out, it was hilarious whenever
Did you see the
botched.
where he pushes him. He has an eye patch, so he couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
He carries him over into the ropes instead of the turnbuckle. Then he picks him up again and hits him into the turnbuckle to finally hit it.
Yeah. But anyways, we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. So Jacob Fatu hits the splash onto Cody through the announce table.
Hurt his knee.
It looked like he really did something bad to his knee.
So I feel like the upcoming returner was supposed to go after Jacob Fatu at first.
Fatu. I feel like they may have had to call an audible. Because you see Solo come over and check on Jacob Fatu.
And also...
And the ref's over there trying... And it just looked like he's in just terrible pain.
Good job to Solo for, like, realizing what was happening. And then
fly.
It was like, okay, maybe I need to take this.
We need to figure... We got to change something real quick. He eventually... he gets Cody in the...
And then we hear the music. Mm-hmm. And also, I just want to say, it was different.
A little different, and I liked it.
I loved it. I was like, this is sick.
Sick, dog.
It's kind of like Cody Rhodes with like the beginning of his song WrestleMania. Yeah.
And the crowd goes nuts. The crowd goes absolutely bonkers.
Did you see the fan that had the sign that says Roman Reigns returned plus 1 million in aura or something like that?
Plus 1 million aura.
Plus like infinity aura.
Yeah, and how he comes with a new T-shirt, original Tribal Chief, OTC.
Yep. And
that's the name of my college. OTC.
OTC. Shout out to OTC.
Shout out to Ozark Technical Community College.
But Roman Reigns comes out. We all knew who he was going to go after. Superman punches Solo Sikoa, and he was getting that crowd hype.
The crowd was hyped.
So we could see that Roman's getting a little face, which
I
think
he's a baby face. I think at this point, it's safe to say he's a baby face.
And absolute
big
spears.
Spears Solo out of the arena.
Now, the most interesting thing from this, the biggest takeaway for me was how Roman looked at Cody after this.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Roman was wanting to do something.
It was almost an acknowledgement of respect that, okay, you did it. You beat me. You were the one to beat me.
But you are not my problem right now.
You're not my problem.
I have bigger things to focus on.
I do think we're going to get one more match.
Oh, yeah.
Between Roman and Cody.
We got... It's kind of like Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed. Those two had to have one more match.
One more match.
And, of course, it wasn't with a crowd. It was inside
behind closed doors.
Yeah, but still. We always need a third match.
I could see it happen at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Because, again, always trying to, especially with the Saudi Arabia shows, they're always trying to push those as WrestleMania
definitely
aura events. And I think this would be a good one.
Now, do you think maybe that's the show we see Logan Paul and LA Knight again?
I don't know, because that's usually they do it in November. I think that unless Logan Paul just takes a break and comes back. But if Logan Paul sticks around, I think we'll see it sooner rather than later. But like if he took like a break, then maybe they may do that. Crown Jewel.
But Tribal Chief has returned.
And Cody picks up again. Cody retains.
There's rumors that a new right-hand man will be with Roman Reigns because everyone thought it would be like a new member to the new bloodline. But I'm starting to think this is the replacement. Maybe this guy will take Sami Zayn's spot in the Survivor Series, which is sad. But
it's looking like Sami and Jey Uso potentially could be getting championship title matches. Tag team.
Yeah.
And if they win tag team titles, then I 100% think they'll bring Sami back into the bloodline.
Yeah, that's if that happens. Which
I definitely think they're gonna bring Jey Uso back in.
Definitely.
But if he's champions with Sami, I think they'll bring Sami easily along because Jimmy's coming back soon, and I think Jimmy's coming back
with vengeance.
And I think this could, if played well, this could put Jimmy
in the same tier as
Jay.
Yeah.
If he comes back correctly
I like that,
and does the rights written correctly.
So that's SummerSlam.
One more SummerSlam. Jelly Roll was there. Did a little performance, and then later with Awesome Truth, they confront A-Town Down Under, and Jelly Roll comes in and delivers one of the biggest choke slams I've ever seen in my life. Then they all do a 5-knuckle shuffle.
He had him up high, too.
Yeah, he took him way up there.
Do you think maybe a little jump helped out with that?
Yeah, I'm sure Austin Theory helped a little bit. But then that 5-knuckle shuffle, that was all Jelly Roll.
That was sick.
That was all Jelly Roll.
That was sick. I loved it.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah, very entertaining.
I'd love to see some more Jelly Roll in the WWE.
So, yeah, and speaking of that, we'll go and talk about that match. Awesome Truth versus A-Town Down.
Yeah, so we're transitioning to Raw.
On Raw.
This was a one-time, little temporary trade between Raw and SmackDown. They let A-Town Down Under come to Raw and compete against Awesome Truth because of what happened at SummerSlam. And on SmackDown, that's airing today, there's supposed to be some Raw people on SmackDown as well.
Fun.
That kind of
fun stuff.
Yes, but A-Town Down Under picking up the W.
Definitely.
Because Truth and Miz, little miscommunication.
Yeah. At first I was seeing maybe Miz is going to do something to the Truth. Or they're building it up to that.
You think Miz will turn on him and turn heel again?
Maybe. I feel like that's
because where do you go from here then with these guys?
I don't know.
You can keep putting them in these comedic segments, which is always nice.
We're already seeing another tag team being split up, the New Day. We're seeing that happen.
Yeah.
With Odyssey Jones
coming in.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with these two. It's tricky.
At first, it was looking like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were gonna break up, and that still might happen because
I hope so.
Because I think giving Austin Theory a chance to prove he can be a good guy will go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about
to start off the show was
Randy Orton.
Gunther as world champion celebration, and it's revealed that Randy Orton is challenging him.
We both knew that someone with a big name would go
especially
against
with Bash and Berlin.
At first we thought it would be Brock Lesnar, but then we thought
maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet because of all the stuff going on.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect. Maybe this is a match we'll see later on at maybe Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
maybe.
There you go. I am excited that it's Randy Orton because it does seem like they just kind of brushed over the fact that his shoulders were up in that final King of the Ring match. They talked about it a little bit the week following King and Queen of the Ring.
The referee's decision's fine.
Then they just didn't talk about it. So it's okay, I guess we're just not going to acknowledge it. But I'm glad they finally did something with it, with Randy Orton getting a title match.
Yeah. First of all, I love how this is a new thing to where the crowd sings his song along with it.
Started in France. Ever since France.
Ever since, though, I keep getting chills every
single time. Because France showed the U.S. fans that we are a little lame. We need to get more into it.
They are way more into it than us.
They were hyped because they don't get it as much as we do. These events.
Maybe WWE should just keep coming down to Ozark, Missouri, or Springfield, Missouri, and have shows there. Because I'm sure
I'm always checking.
People like us will absolutely
hyped.
We are probably the hypest people in that building.
We'll sing Randy Orton's theme song all night long. 100%.
Whenever we had the WWE live show, we were probably the most hype people in that entire building. Dude, we were so high.
I think people around us were ready to punch us in the face because we were getting annoying. But we were having the time of our lives.
People were laughing at us. There was just...
we were
with Dominic Mysterio.
We were so hyped.
People were laughing.
Yeah, you had me dying with Dominic Mysterio. I was dying.
Those guys on the front...
they were dying. You're like, you're not that guy. You're not him. And I'm sitting in my chair just trying not to cry from laughing.
And also Ludwig Kaiser.
Get out of here.
He looked at me. He got offended by it.
And then Cody Rhodes saw you pointing at you. I was like, oh, bro. It was so good. Then we were the only ones cheering for Io Sky in that triple threat match.
Top 3 WWE moments of my life.
It was pretty
being at a show.
It was pretty fun. See, they're fun.
Yeah. Anyways, back on track. Sorry about that.
First match of the night, Sheamus defeating Ludwig Kaiser.
Yep.
Do you think Ludwig Kaiser you think he'll be a singles champion before too long? I don't know necessarily with Braun Breaker being champion. Because he's starting to get that he looks good as a singles competitor. He was doing some cool stuff before.
I feel like it'll be after a year.
You think it'll be a year? You think he'll stick with Gunther for a little bit longer?
I feel like we have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
After like all the Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker stuff.
Yeah.
All the higher competitors we want to see with the two. After whoever wins if Sami Zayn wins it back, then I feel like we have better alternatives to Ludwig. But I could definitely see it. He's definitely doing better. You could see him growing. But
yes.
Sheamus
beats Ludwig Kaiser
and
solid
Pete Dunne.
match. Pete Dunne's been doing some stuff in NXT as well.
Yeah,
which we'll get
he needs
to
make up his mind.
I know a lot of these, because NXT helps give some of these superstars who aren't getting as well utilized in the main roster some time to shine, like the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it a little bit. I understand kind of why they do it. Just help give them a little time on screen.
I understand why they did that with the OC now. Is because AJ Styles we haven't seen much.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Backstage segment. Finn Balor kind of just rubs salt in the wound of Damian Priest.
Yeah, Damian Priest.
It's official. It's a new Judgment Day. We got Finn Balor looking like he's leading the group. They say there's kind of no leaders, but it's looking like Finn Balor is the leader.
Well, Finn Balor has the most accomplished.
Yeah, and he's kind of...
And he's the best one.
The oldest member of the Judgment Day that's still in the group. So you got Finn Balor, you got Carlito, JD McNutt, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan in this new form of Judgment Day. And we
all saw it coming.
They look dominant. They look like they can be real dominant.
I feel like this is only the beginning for that group. I'm ready.
Because they already have the World Tag Team titles in the group and the Women's World title in the group.
Yep.
Speaking of women's match, first women's match of the night, Lyra Valkyria defeats Shayna Baszler by disqualification after Sonya Deville and Zoe Stark basically immediately start attacking Lyra.
Yeah.
And then Damage Control comes in and basically just confronts this new group of Deville, Stark, and
which
Baszler.
was very interesting. You know, they're both heel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And
I was like,
coming to the aid of someone who's face. That really was like...
Here's the thing. I think they're just trying to showcase just the dominant women's division on Raw.
Yeah, they're
just trying to show these two factions going up against each other to prove who's more dominant.
And I feel like the group being favored, of course, is going to be Damage Control.
Damage Control, a little bit more. Yeah.
But, yeah. Women's is great right now.
Killing it.
They're killing it.
Killing it. Speaking of killing it, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins.
First of all, we all thought we were going to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins officially in a rivalry.
They look like they're about to go at it.
And then Drew McIntyre comes in through the crowd.
Because Seth Rollins is upset.
Yeah.
I would be too if I got hit by a GTS for no reason by CM Punk.
And Drew McIntyre came out taunting CM Punk.
Still had the bracelet.
Yep. And as soon as he talked about the bracelet...
And he's in the crowd. It's important to mention he's in the crowd.
Yeah, he's in the crowd. As soon as he mentions the bracelet, CM Punk's like, Seth, I'll deal with you later, and just went over there.
Yeah.
So
runs after him. And then that's when Big Bronson Reed gets involved.
After this happened, that's when I knew that the next match between the three is Drew and CM Punk.
Yeah. Because I think Seth Rollins is going to be gone for a little bit. I think this was a way to write him off television for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because how many tsunamis did Bronson Reed hit? Was it 6 or 7?
It was like...
The crowd was getting into it. They were like, one more. Some people were saying, and I'm curious what you think, was this potentially a star-making moment for Bronson Reed?
Definitely.
I feel like
that was the intention of it.
Yeah, they made him just look like an absolute monster. And the crowd, who are huge fans of Seth freaking Rollins, was getting behind Bronson Reed, wanting him to do more.
Bronson Reed was looking for that moment that would skyrocket him, and that was the moment.
I talked a little bit, a few or so episodes ago, I made a comparison between Bronson Reed and Mark Henry from 2011. Mark Henry had similar things where he would attack somebody, and it was a star-making moment for him at the time. It made him just look unstoppable. And he was for months.
And then later we see him as world champion.
World champion. Not long later he became world champion. Bronson Reed, maybe.
Maybe.
Never say never.
He looks just about as strong as Mark Henry.
He's insane. He's just, like I said,
and
big.
I bet his finisher hurts more than...
Yeah, I would never want to take someone come off the top rope that big coming down on him.
He's like,
no
how
thanks.
much is he? 386 pounds?
Something like that. Next match of the night was the New Day defeating AOP.
And even though New Day got the win, we're still seeing the New Day break down.
Yeah, Odyssey Jones, for the first time, we finally freaking see Odyssey Jones on WWE television, even though he got drafted to Raw last year.
Yeah.
And we never saw him. Now we finally get to see him, which I guess maybe this is a good way to kind of introduce him on television.
The crowd was so hyped by it, you know?
I was too. I was just excited him to finally be on TV.
I was like, wait a minute. I've heard this name before.
Last year's draft.
But yeah, he made a huge impact. He even took out Karrion Kross.
Yeah, is he potentially a replacement for Big E?
Well, it's looking like it, and Kofi Kingston's all for it, but Xavier Woods is not. He's not for it. You could tell that, like, of course we couldn't see anything like of him like talking to him or anything, but you could tell by the look on his face and how he was like giving him mean looks.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's not too sure of him.
He's not too sure about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just unsure about it. Maybe he's not mad about it.
Maybe. What can I say?
But is this potentially going to be Xavier Woods, Big E versus Kofi Kingston and Odyssey Jones?
Whoa.
I'm not saying that will happen. That's not a prediction. I'm just saying, could it happen?
Hold on.
Could it happen?
It could. It's possible.
Of course,
I would love to see Big E back in the ring. But I just don't know. I know
how is he going to get back in the ring?
It's hard. Neck injuries, especially I think the way his is hard to come back from.
Yeah.
It's real hard. Next match of the night, Damian Priest defeats JD McDonough by disqualification after Finn Balor attacked him.
He might as well just won by pinfall because JD was going to get
JD didn't stand a chance.
Also, I want to talk about like the video segments that they have between the two, like hype the match up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Damian Priest said that JD has a big head.
Everybody knows that.
So now officially, Damian Priest is one of my favorites right now.
One of your favorites.
He was my favorite heel. Now he's my favorite face because tonight was the night that he became officially a face.
Yeah.
He was like giving everything to the crowd and everything, and I was like, this dude is a face, but he's still like aggressive.
Aggressive.
You know? I love
that. He's angry.
Yeah.
He's angry that
I love the power of him.
Yeah. The rest of the new Judgment Day tries to come down and beat down Damian Priest, but in comes Rhea Ripley to save the day, chase everybody off.
First, Liv Morgan. She was going to put Liv through the table, but Dominic saved her. And Rhea was like, you know what? There's other guys in the ring. Let's go after JD. And she goes in. First of all, headbutts
I will say
JD
deserves some credit because he's the one that's taken all the beatings.
He always takes all the beatings, but he also looks like someone out of all of them that I'd love to see a beating.
I'd love to see this guy get
beat. It used to be Dominic, but now it's JD. You know, after this, my love for every single person, besides from Carlito, because he hasn't done much. The love for all of these guys.
Carlito's a little funny, though. He comes in and he's kind of
He's like the humor
of the group.
But, yeah, I'm more into JD now. I've always been into Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, baby.
Dominic Mysterio, I have more respect to him now. Finally, going after Liv Morgan. I would her rather than Rhea Ripley.
Really?
No offense.
Over Mommy?
I'm not into that.
No. All right.
We're going to cut that out.
Switching subjects. The next women's match of the night was Io Sky defeating Sonya Deville, which originally I think it was supposed to be Dakota Kai, but they beat her up backstage.
Yeah.
Io Sky steps up. And her and Kairi Sane do this cool, like, insane elbow moonsault combo that took out everybody.
It looks sick.
And the crowd was behind it, so it definitely does seem like maybe the crowd's getting behind Damage Control a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know how you mentioned maybe they're starting to become the baby faces of the women's division on Raw.
Yeah. Now for the big match, I don't know why I mean, it makes sense why they say it for the main.
Because it was the Wyatt Six's first match on the roster.
Yeah.
So I think that was it was the whole hype behind it.
Yeah.
Against the what was the new? I forget what Chad Gable called his new group.
Oh, I can't remember.
American Alpha or something like that. Alpha American or.
Speaking of American Alpha, Jason Jordan. Did you see him? He was stopped trying to stop.
He's a producer
Bronson
now.
Reed, yeah.
So he's always one of the guys. Whenever there's a fight that breaks out,
yeah,
he's one of the guys that comes in and tries to break it up.
Ever since like the first time he did it, I can't remember with who it was. I was like,
Jason Jordan.
That's Jason Jordan.
Former,
I will never forget Jason Jordan.
Former Raw Tag Team Champion with Seth freaking Rollins and Kurt Angle's son.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, if he wanted to, he could just beat up Bronson Reed and stop him from this. He has. We've seen him. He could lift guys up. He's strong. He still looks strong.
Strong boy.
But yeah.
Y6 picking up the dominant victory.
We all saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see, like, the moves, I guess you can say.
Yeah, we got to see what their moveset's all like.
Yeah. First of all, the one I'm most impressed with is actually Dexter Lumis.
Yeah?
I actually like watching Dexter Lumis in the ring for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. And same with Joe Gacy. The way they like threw him to the ropes and he was like upside down.
Mm-hmm.
That really reminded me of Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. They did a lot of mannerisms
And
to honor Bray Wyatt.
Eric Rowan, he was doing some
Do you
stuff as
you
well.
like how they've kept, like Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, how they kept their names?
Yeah. And I also like how they kept like their kind of like persona from before as well, like Dexter Lumis.
They acknowledge like who they were before, but like obviously they've changed and stuff.
Yeah, you know how like Dexter Lumis always does that weird crawl thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did it in this match.
Yeah.
So
there's still that part of them, but then there's this new Y6 part of them.
Uncle Howdy was sitting in Bray Wyatt's chair on the side with
he was very pleased with what
Nikki
he
Cross
saw.
sitting next to him like a little girl in a kindergarten class.
There you go. It's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I was happy with what I saw. I'm starting to think like maybe I want to see the Chad Gable, Uncle Howdy and I want to see them go after higher groups.
People.
Yeah. I want to see them being pushed. You know.
I get it. And maybe we'll see that
Because there's no reason to hyping this group up if we're not going to see much out of it.
Yeah, it's just
They're building it up.
Don't string it out too long.
Yeah,
is the only thing.
I can't wait a week to see more, and then only light stuff happening. You know,
It's like let's get some
juicy
stuff going. Speaking of juicy stuff, NXT Great American Bash. First match of the night, Pete Dunne clean defeats Trick Williams. No cheating involved, just straight up beats him, which I was very surprised about.
I feel like that surprised everybody.
Yeah, I think it looked like Pete Dunne may get an NXT title shot down the line. He's never been NXT champion.
Which is interesting, especially with the Sheamus stuff going on.
Yeah, so...
As well.
That's what you notice. A lot of these wrestlers who are also appearing on NXT, they're involved in two different storylines at the same time.
Maybe we'll see Sheamus get involved on NXT.
That'd be kind of neat.
Maybe like Pete Dunne loses the title shot because of Sheamus.
Possibly. Next match of the night, Kalani Jordan defeats Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Wendy Chu kind of got involved a little bit, and at the end of the match, she helped take out Paxley.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. We thought she was on Paxley's side, but no, puts her to sleep. NXT Championship match, Ethan Page defeats Oro Mensah. The crowd was getting behind Oro because he was definitely the underdog. He had Page's number for weeks, embarrassing him. But this time he is not able to get the job done when it's an official match.
Yeah.
Ethan Page retains. Joe Hendry defeats Joe Coffey. Got Joe versus Joe.
The two Joes. Might as well bring Samoa Joe in there.
Samoa Joe back in there. Joe Hendry cuts a promo after, says he's looking to stick around for a while. He says he likes NXT a little too much. He thinks he's going to stick around a lot longer, and the crowd is all for it because they'll sing his song for days.
I'm loving this AEW stuff.
It is a catchy stuff. TNA stuff.
Yeah.
TNA, not AEW.
Why did I say?
Because you mentioned Samoa Joe and he's
Apologies,
in AEW.
folks. Apologies.
TNA. It is neat because this is nothing like this has ever happened. Nobody ever thought something like this could ever happen. Somebody from other big name companies coming over to WWE.
I still think,
and vice versa.
It's out of question. It's out of the picture of AEW and WWE in a Survivor Series. I think it's out of the picture.
You don't think it will happen?
No, I think it's going to be bloodline stuff.
You mean WWE versus TNA?
Why do I?
You keep saying AEW.
Why do I say?
You keep saying AEW because you mentioned Samoa Joe and Samoa Joe's on AEW.
Why do I keep saying that? Anyways, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all get the point.
Yes.
I still think it's out. I think it's out of the picture.
Yeah, probably not. It would be cool though.
It would
be super cool. You know what would also be cool is next 2K game we get some TNA stars.
Oh,
like Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry on WWE. Maybe like a DLC.
Or like Jordan Grace.
TNA DLC.
Yeah, and maybe they give us like. I don't know if they can make it work, but like if they gave us like TNA Arena too, TNA titles as well, it's like, dang, it's almost like a WWE TNA game.
Maybe
and
they'll
then
make a game called WWE versus TNA.
Yeah, and then like a My Rise where like you're like you
start
off in TNA and. You do like the whole Joe Hendry thing where like, oh, you're going to be a guest star on NXT. And you get over in NXT and kind of get into WWE. We're cooking, dog. We are cooking, dog.
We may not be able to program this, but make sure we are the writers.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
I was like a little bored at work the other day. So I went on to WWE's job listings. I found a social media job that I applied for and then a digital video production assistant job. And I applied for that as well. I was like, you know what? You never know.
Maybe Triple H is like, Tyler Lawson,
he's the guy. He's the guy.
You know?
He works at a radio station out of Springfield, Missouri.
You know, he reminds me of someone that was on a podcast.
Podcast that I watched recently.
Magic Tyler.
That's it.
I've heard that somewhere. Maybe he's one of our only viewers.
Maybe
Triple H is like one of the only viewers.
He's like, why aren't these guys on more things? These guys are hilarious. But back to NXT, Great American Bash. We have Ren Sinclair defeating Kendall Gray. With this win, this helped get her into the No Quarter Catch Crew group. She's now officially in the group. And winning this also gave Charlie Dempsey a future Heritage Cup match against Tony D'Angelo. Woo! Woo! Then we got the main event, which was a killer match. Axiom and Nathan Fraser, who I was not expecting to retain, defeats the team of MSK, Wesley, and Zachary Wentz. Zachary Wentz is from TNA.
Zachary is crazy.
They're part of the Rascals. And they did not successfully win the titles.
Which led to Wesley.
Wesley turning on the Rascals, turning on both Wentz and Trey Miguel.
Yeah.
Which I did not see coming. I remember watching it, and I was noticing the way they were starting to get spaced out. And I was like, okay, something's going to... And I almost thought the Rascals were going to turn on Wesley.
Yeah.
But it was the other way around. I did not expect Wesley to be the one to turn on them. And it was heartbreaking. You look at them, those boys are starting to cry.
Sad, man.
But it is now exciting. I think we're going to see a new Wesley, which is what, for me, is so exciting.
Yeah. Wesley has always been a really high up name.
They say he is the greatest North American champion of all time.
Do you agree with that?
I think he's top 3 easily.
Yeah.
Maybe number 1.
Yeah. I can see it.
And now we could see him, if he can pull off this just dominant heel run, maybe NXT champion. What can I say?
Anyways.
It's possible. It's real possible.
Yeah.
But overall, so far this week, pretty A+. All around, I think for the most part. SummerSlam I felt like was A+ for me. Raw was solid.
Raw was very solid.
Great American Bash was solid.
SmackDown, I can go ahead and predict it's solid.
Will be solid. Roman Reigns is returning. Always acknowledge your tribal chief. Every day, acknowledge him. We acknowledge our tribal chief here on this podcast.
Now, with some Raw superstars coming over to SmackDown, do you think that a Raw superstar will challenge Cody Rhodes for the title? Like
same way Randy Orton did it?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a good point. That's a real good point.
Because...
and a real possibility.
Who's next?
Who would go up against Cody Rhodes?
I feel like that's the big question after Raw. Because I thought Randy Orton's going to be next.
Yeah.
But, of course, that's out of the
I
picture.
could see Drew McIntyre. Especially with a big win over Punk.
Maybe.
At SummerSlam.
But Punk's already after McIntyre, though.
But, McIntyre can pull the whole, I already beat you, Punk, I don't need to face you again card.
Yeah.
And, I'm ready. I did what I set out to do with you.
Yeah.
I beat you. Now I'm going to go on to bigger and better things. And that's the Undisputed WWE Championship. Because Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre is a money match.
Yeah.
That's money.
Yeah.
And easily Punk would get involved in that match. And then I think that would force McIntyre's hand to agree to one more match against Punk.
I agree.
I think that's a real possibility.
I was kind of skeptical about it first when you brought up the idea, but after that...
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Because Punk said, as long as there is breath in his lungs, Drew McIntyre will never be world champion again.
Yeah. I can see it.
Because on the SmackDown side, who's left? We've done Logan Paul. We've done Solo. We've done AJ Styles. Who else? Kevin Owens? Maybe?
I say no. Because I feel like...
And then if you think you want to go heel-wise, you'd want to heel, right?
Yeah.
Typically, you want good guy versus bad guy.
We can't do Randy Orton.
No, because Randy Orton's busy with Gunther. LA Knight's he's busy with his thing. Maybe another Logan Paul match, but we've already seen it, so I wouldn't be as into it as I was. I think we're going to see another Roman Reigns match, which I think will happen at Crown Jewel. I think that's a real possibility.
I don't know.
And then obviously we're just trying to truck along until we can get Dwayne The Rock Johnson to come back, for WrestleMania.
Like that's the main reason that I'm not invested
as much into Cody's reign.
Yeah.
Just because it's just like...
I'm not invested in any of...
We got to get to...
Cody's reign at all.
But the thing is, how do you feel about last year with Roman Reigns? Because everybody knew we were gearing up for Cody versus Roman 2.
Which, again...
Were you invested in it then?
I was not invested in any of the Roman Reigns stuff either.
Last year? Last year was kind of because he only defended the title like...
2 or 3 times.
2, 3 times, 4 times maybe.
And we all knew the outcome of each time.
Yeah, we knew he was going to win.
I feel like the next step for Cody Rhodes is Randy Orton.
Randy Orton would be a good match.
But even then, if that's going to be before The Rock, we know who's winning that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of in a pickle here.
Yeah, and I feel like post-Rock, which I assume is going to happen at Mania. I would assume that's the kind of stage you'd want.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think maybe you wait a little bit, but I think a heel turn for Cody is not far off after Cody versus Rock. Because I think heel Cody is going to bang.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's what I'm waiting on right now.
Everybody wants to see that heel Cody. I think he'll be unstoppable.
I feel like as soon as that pops off, I'll be more invested.
Yeah, he'll be unstoppable.
Because that's the only championship right now. I'm whatever.
And it's the biggest title in the company.
Yeah, I even wanted to skip through the Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam because I just didn't care.
If we only didn't have speculations that Roman was going to return.
Yeah, if I didn't think Roman, of course I thought Roman was going to return, so that's why I watched it.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, I would have just skipped it.
Skip through, at least skip to the end just to see the outcome.
I would just fast forward it.
Yeah. I get it.
But, yeah.
I get it.
Cody Rhodes is in a pickle.
Yeah. I think bringing someone over from Raw.
I feel like the Drew McIntyre thing you said was probably the best solution.
Because Finn Balor is busy with Damian Priest.
Do you think...
Maybe an Uncle Howdy, but I don't...
No, he's not... Chad Gable and then Cody Rhodes, that's too big of a jump.
Yeah.
And also who Uncle Howdy's going after.
Yeah, if they're sticking with the whole he's going after people that turned against their family.
Which also I am still not happy that they should have had Uncle Howdy and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
I think we will get that soon.
It should have been at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get it.
But
I think we're all ready to see Uncle Howdy in action. Like, match-wise, and seeing what that'll look like.
And we all know he's going to win his first match against Chad Gable.
Yeah. Chad Gable's just kind of helped setting up.
What's next for Uncle Howdy after that?
I feel like should still be Seth freaking Rollins.
Should be Seth Rollins.
I would think. Or Finn Balor.
Or Finn Balor, yeah, I was about to say Finn Balor. Or
Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day.
Or Braun Strowman.
Wyatt 6, Judgment Day, War Games.
TNA, you're out of the building.
Hey, out of the building.
It's official. I could see that.
Dude,
yeah.
Wouldn't that be sick? I could
Don't get me wrong, all of those competitors would make a spark of a match.
And you could still do a women's War Games and still put Liv on one team and Nikki Cross on the other.
Yeah.
You could still do it. It would add kind of a cool dynamic.
Maybe we just see
that.
like a one-on-one match between the two.
That too, yeah.
Or maybe they just go at it at ringside during the match.
Maybe.
Or maybe.
Just maybe.
Uncle Howdy doesn't go after them. But
I
there's
think
so many possibilities.
I think everybody has to share every single one of our episodes if Drew McIntyre is the next one to challenge Cody Rhodes.
Is he?
I think
we'll find out tonight.
I think he will be.
You know?
Because now that I'm really thinking about it, that would make a lot of sense. Going into bashing.
I feel like if we predicted all of this, like we were right about every single thing we talked about.
Yeah.
We should be the writers.
We should be the writers because we're doing just as good as you guys.
So we don't give out the secrets to all the people.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone.
We don't know. We're just fans. We don't know for sure.
We're fans, but we're predicting.
So
maybe they should hire us so we make it less predictable but still entertaining.
Give us the money. We'll do it. We will make a show that no one will ever forget.
Or maybe we just don't get paid at all.
Here's what they need to do.
We just get credit.
They need to give us 1 year to just let us do whatever we want with storylines. Give us 1 year to do whatever we want.
And speaking of that,
we will make this the biggest company than it's ever been.
WWE 2K, give us more freedom to do whatever we want in universe.
That too. Bring back promos.
Bring back
promos, dog.
Put more detail into it.
I really would like to see a TNA kind of crossover in 2K. Maybe next year. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a great DLC.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Maybe even with arenas too and championships, which you can download them if you want to, like community creation.
I feel like
there's nothing like having like the real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Let's be honest.
The real thing.
I don't think 2K is going to put their effort into that.
Well, it's more. I think it's more a money thing.
Yeah.
You gotta work it with TNA. Obviously, they gotta agree to it.
You gotta pay all the wrestlers.
You gotta pay all the wrestlers, and you gotta. Yeah, it's all licensing thing, but never say never, because I never thought I'd see signed TNA stars appearing on WWE television.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I'm saying.
I feel like that's everything we have to go through.
Yeah. Close us out, Caysen.
Next episode, y'all, we will bring back some of the old stuff. We'll do the punishments.
Yeah.
We will do our top 10 if you want to. We could probably bring a new segment.
Maybe some trivia for Caysen, see if test his knowledge.
I'm gonna do
we'll keep it within his years.
Yeah.
We'll do our best. I'll do my best to keep it within his years.
Yeah.
Of watching.
That's fair. But anyways, we are so glad that you all decided to listen to us.
Yeah.
yap
in this
around this stuff.
post SummerSlam review and Fallout.
I do want to point out on your thing it says The Walking Dead Destinies as the title of this episode.
Yeah, that was when I was streaming it that one time.
Yeah.
What a game, dog.
No, that game sucked.
But I spent money on that.
Yeah, I can't believe that game was $40.
It should have been like $5.
This ain't WWE talk, but I do want to let the crowd know if you're the people that made that game,
You should be ashamed.
don't make games anymore.
Don't make games anymore.
You know,
or at least take longer and take your time
yeah,
to make them good.
because
I'd rather wait longer for a good game than get it early and have issues.
yeah, that. I mean, think about the new college football game that came out. They could have brought that out in 2022.
Yeah, but they knew
But they waited because they wanted to make it perfect.
Perfect.
And it was perfect. Perfect game. Anyways, signing off. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith. We will see y'all later. Can we get the fireworks? Yeah. At 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
2 for 2 since our return.
All right. See ya.
See ya.